How?
No, even.
You don't do that here. Sure, David leo jishikia maiki yako.
Si wajipange.
Tajipanga tu. Mimi siwezi enda.
Receive instructions from one activist, Charles Waithaka, to file a petition to the Public Service Commission for the removal of one Mr. Nurdin Haji, the current holder of the DPP's office. The petition is grounded on the malpractices within the DPP's office. It goes into the bedroom of the Director of Public Prosecution in terms of, one, how prosecutors are being promoted. We have attached a serious indictment on how very junior prosecutors, prosecutor, principal, state counsel 1, jumps to be an assistant deputy director of public prosecution. Those are free ranks without undergoing any form of interview or appearing before the Public Service Commission. So the question that the activist is raising is this not what the Constitution talked about in Chapter 6, that promotions should be based on Article 231, merit? Mr. Nurdin Haji has not been following the merit. Unilaterally, he has appointed very junior state counsels in his office to be senior assistant deputy directors, jumping very other established prosecutors. 2, we have also raised the question of the absence of very solid prosecutors who Mr. Nurdin Haji found there. He has completely scattered them, removed them from the DPP's office and sent them to work in Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Water, the Department of Children's Services, and others, against the cost government and Kenyans have incurred to train the well-established prosecutors. Remember, the judges in their colloquium said that the level and competence of the prosecutors handling sensitive matters is wanting, and that is why very many hardcore criminals are being acquitted, not because there is no lack of evidence, but because of poor prosecution. We equally saw this in the case of the DCJ Mwilu, where the DCI is not indicted. The court indicted the office of the Director of Public Prosecution because of the incompetence displayed by the young and inexperienced prosecutors. Third, the activist has raised a very fundamental question about people who applied for promotions, but the people are being told to go for interview in jobs that they never applied for that. Lastly, we have also looked at the bedroom of Nurdin Haji on the question of pension. We have attached evidence that Mr. Nurdin Haji has already unilaterally removed the pension from the Public Service Commission pension fund to his own without due regard to the procedures. In summary, the petitioner is seeking that relevant arms of government like the EACC should now move to investigate the office of the Director of Public Prosecution with a view of preferring corruption charges against one Mr. Nurdin Haji. The others can say about it.
Against you, and that confidence that the public is supposed to have when you are there has also gone away, and that people look at you no longer as a person who can be able to protect the public, but as their enemy. Then isn't it time that a person like that saves face and moves out of office? If you can interfere with your own staff, bully them left, right, and center, transfer them without due regard to circumstances, bring people that you prefer and remove the others without considering performance, bring people that you want without looking at people's experience, remove the people whom you think can be able to be a threat to your position and take them to other places. Then isn't it time also for you to go? Aren't you going against any form of natural justice as well? If then these are the things that you're doing, and this is what people are complaining about, then don't you think it is time that you can also step aside without having much of these things coming out of wherever they are coming from? It is better for you to be able to move out rather than go to press conferences and start telling people that you cannot be cowed, you cannot be threatened, you cannot be bullied, that you are going to stay put. What kind of a face are you putting right there when you're saying that you cannot be cowed? The thing is, facts have been presented, situations have been brought about, circumstances have been clearly brought on the surface, yet you want to tell us you cannot be cowed? You want to tell us that you cannot be threatened? The issue now goes beyond you being threatened and trying to show you're a steelman and examining your own heart. Finding out whether you can be able to still do the job. Finding out whether people can still have confidence in you. If in your own office there is no confidence enough by your staff, aren't you fighting a losing battle? Aren't you embarrassing yourself? I keep on repeating and saying that it is a moment whereby the DPP right now should save face. The Public Service Commission has also filed responses saying that this man, they believe, needs to be able to answer a few questions here and there. If the Public Service Commission, in their replies on petitions against him, can be able to say that, why can't he take the cue? Because he might delay everything. If it's not going to happen today, it's going to happen tomorrow. So save face and move out. Do something else. Maybe join politics. Like some of us, we want to just join politics and see whether we can be able to run around. Not because of incompetence like his, but because of interests being diversified. But for him, that office is no longer an office that he needs to be able to stay in. He needs to move out.
Now, if we are here before this press conference talking about the incompetence of the Director of Public Prosecutions, unable to discharge his constitutional mandate, then we are saying that Kenyans cannot rely on the Director of Public Prosecution on behalf of the state to ensure that they see justice. If we are challenging the incompetence of this particular Director of Public Prosecutions, what can the common mwananchi say? We are aware that not every Kenyan is able to walk into our offices today to try and instruct us to draft these petitions on their behalf. So far, we have lodged over 5 petitions at the Public Service Commission for the removal of one Mr. Nuruddin Haji. Now, the question is, how long are we going to wait until we see action? Public Service Commission, we are asking you, what is the timeline? Because every single day new petitions are coming. Are we going to file over 100 petitions only for them to sit at the desk of the commission with no action? What are we saying? We believe that the Public Service Commission is well able and well equipped to act on the petitions that have been presented before it of public prosecution. We beseech Mr. Nuruddin Haji to step aside. Let the office of the Director of Public Prosecution save face. Let it not go down in record that the Republic of Kenya is unable to institute and to take over criminal proceedings for the country just because of one incompetent person. The grounds for the removal of the Director of Public Prosecutions are very clear and articulated under Article 158 of the Constitution of Kenya. All the petitions we have filed raise all those grounds. Therefore, this is an urge to the Public Service Commission. We need timelines. We need to know how you will act. We need to know when you will act. Because the law is very clear that once the petition has been forwarded to the President, he only has 14 days. Therefore, in the interim, how many more petitions are we going to draft and present before the Public Service Commission before we find action? Let us know so that Kenyans can know where this country stands.
a process that is fair in itself, so that we have the most competent of ourselves to be in those public offices. What we see in Waithaka's petition is a very bad picture of Mr. Nurdin Haji, who is promoting his kinsmen, who is promoting persons basically due to corrupt practices or other ulterior motives. We see people, while there is nothing wrong with being a junior, you can be a junior and competent at what you're doing, but there must be a verifiable process, a process that will tell us that Mr. Omari, who joined the office of the DPP just recently, through his works, he has been promoted all to the top and is now heading a big division or the appeals division. So what is happening at that office is that we are having people who are being promoted not because of their competence levels, no, but because of other motives or other factors that we are not aware as the people who pay for these people to be in that public office. We see in... So it's because of these complaints, which essentially began from the members of the public questioning what is happening in the office of the DPP. And now we are just taking an introspect. We are taking a look at what is happening inside, in his room, and as Senior puts it well, in his bedroom. So that even in where he sits, he's no longer at ease. Things are not happening as per the dictates of the law. Things are not happening as the Constitution in the initial places or initial stages anticipated. So we are hoping, as my sister has put, that in the fullness of time, we know, of course, in the meantime, Mr. Nurdin Haji is enjoying some illegal orders. We are hoping that tomorrow, when the case comes up before Learned Justice Makau, that some of these orders that have tied the hands of the Public Service Commission, orders that have made it very impossible for the Public Service Commission to move and to proceed with the hearing and determination of the petitions that have been filed before it, are going to be discharged, and we also answer to the Kenyans of his deeds since his appointment as the Director of Public Prosecutions. Thank you.
Lastly, that he will be available for scrutiny. A paradox. He has gagged the media. He has stopped Public Service Commission from conducting an interview with a view of removing from the office. And that is what we have said. Tomorrow we shall be pushing so hard to the court that the orders to stop Public Service Commission from receiving and processing petitions against Nurdin Haji is unconstitutional. He is a person who has a doublespeak. At the Media's Guild, he is saying he is ready to be put on the public scrutiny. Yet, he has gagged the same media, but he took there. So we'll be urging that let it be open for citizens to know such rots that are within the office of the Director of Public Prosecution. As we have clearly put it, this is inside his bedroom, and we shall be calling upon all investigative arms of government to put to question how did the Director become law unto himself. We shall be writing to the EACC. We shall be serving copies of this petition to investigate. Those people working in the office of the Director of Public Prosecution are our Kenyans, are our sisters, are our brothers. 99% of them are lawyers. So we expect also the Law Society of Kenya not to come out defending Nurdin, but to come out to defend the state councils, who are by extension advocates and members of the Law Society of Kenya. So we are urging that, one, Mr. Nurdin Haji to leave office. As we said, very many Kenyans are coming to us to file petitions. We have nothing personal against Nurdin Haji. We are doing our work as lawyers and paid not by any loud and clear. Any more issue? Court. So we expect the court to give its ruling. We shall also address the country as regards the ruling that is come. I wouldn't want to delve so much in the ruling of the commandant of Committee Prison, his deputy, and the other five.